Hey, my friends, how are you today? This is the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. As always, always check my connections to make sure everything is going well. So far, so good. I think we're running well. Welcome those of you who are tuning in on LinkedIn and on Instagram, and of course on YouTube. Appreciate you being here. This is open forum. I do this live every Thursday. I am an audiobook coach and producer, so I focus on talking about the audiobook world. And we have a good topic that I really want you to think about because this is really important for your author brand, and that is knowing your audiobook audience. We're going to dive into this. Knowing your audiobook audience. Do you really know your audience? Or how are you presenting yourself? How are you presenting your author brand? How are you presenting your book? And especially, how are you presenting your audiobook to the world? All right. Do you know your brand? A couple of things I want to share with you first that I sometimes forget to do, and I don't want to forget. First of all, I do have a free audiobook narration reference guide. And for those of you on LinkedIn and on YouTube, it's in the description, the link to grab your free guide. Instagram, go to my profile page, click on my link. The link on my profile page will take you to a link tree, which has a whole bunch of great links for you. So the free audiobook narration reference guide link is on there. All right. So get it, grab it. It's good stuff. It's good material. It's good information. It'll give you tools and techniques on how to do a great narration because, again, as an audiobook coach and producer, I am a big advocate of nonfiction authors, especially narrating your own audiobook. Now, if you are a fiction author, it all depends on the type of story that you've written. If it's more of a narrative that you can tell that story, even though it's a fantasy or fiction story, awesome. Narrate it. You're the author. You created it. You narrate it. So do it. All right. So grab your free narration reference guide. Again, the link, by the way, is bit.ly. I use bit.ly for a lot of my links just to make it easy. bit.ly/narration reference guide. Grab your free guide there. And one more thing I do want to share with you before we dive into knowing your audiobook audience, and that is that Thursdays is live day, right? We do this live thing here, which I love doing. And there you go. Our next podcast, the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, is tonight, and we do it every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. The topic for our podcast is Your Audiobook Can Change the World. And it really can, especially when you narrate it. And we're going to dive into how and dive into why and dive into how you can do a great, compelling, and engaging audiobook in your own voice. So we'll talk about that tonight on the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. Again, it is every Thursday, of course, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Go to the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. There's a link again on YouTube and LinkedIn that has a link to catch it live. That's for the live link. So click it tonight. And again, Instagram, you know the deal. Go to my profile page. Everything is there for you. So in regards to knowing your audiobook audience, do you know your audience? Do you know your audience? Now, when you wrote your book, I'm sure you had a specific audience in mind. Or maybe you are, if you wrote a memoir or you're telling your story, but still you probably have a specific audience in mind for the story that you're telling, even if it's personal. Now, especially if you're a coach, you obviously have a specific person in mind, and then because it has to relate to your coaching program and maybe you're targeting just certain demographics. But this is where I really need you to think about this in different terms, because when you are narrating your audiobook and you are talking to, let's say you're a weight loss coach and you're talking to a demographic of, people who are maybe the ages of 30 to 50. All right. That's your target audience. Maybe you specialize in helping women. Maybe you specialize in helping men. Maybe your coaching program is a career coach or life coach or relationship coach or finance coach, whatever you do. And you have specific ideas. Maybe, for example, a finance coach, maybe your target audience are people who are getting ready to retire. So you coach people on how to do their finances, or maybe people who are just starting out, right? Younger people who are graduating high school, college, and that's the time to start thinking about finance, and you coach people for that. That's great. That's a genre, that's a demographic, that's a group that you want to hit. That's your audience. But to do a great audiobook narration, you have to be more specific. Because being more specific will bring out more of your authenticity. And it will allow you to be able to narrate with more conversationalism. Because you don't want to sound robotic. You don't want to sound monotone. You don't want to sound reedy, right? When you grab your book and you're starting to read or narrate, you just don't want to sound like you're reading a story. You're going to put your audience to sleep, all right? They're going to tune out, and they're not going to buy your audiobook. So being very specific, not just from a genre aspect or demographic aspect, but having somebody specific in mind, very specific, and somebody that you know. I know a lot of coaching programs and whatever, they tell you, create your avatar. Who are you talking to? And you come up with this fantasy person that, this is Jane. She's 43 years old, has 2 kids, and she is a single mom. And I am a coach that helps single women achieve their goals in their career, let's say. All right, well, that's great, but it's so much better, especially from an audiobook standpoint, if you have somebody specific in mind that is a real person. Okay, so maybe it's your significant other. Maybe it is a friend, family, coworker, somebody. Maybe it's somebody in the past when you were growing up. Maybe your grandma or grandpa, right? Maybe they're really cool, and you're telling your story to them. Have somebody specific in mind, because again, what that does is that it brings out not only your authenticity, and that's key, because that's super, super important. You've got to be your true authentic self, but it also allows you to be more conversational. And that type of delivery when you're doing your narration is crucial. Okay, it is crucial. You have to do a great delivery, and to do that, to be compelling and to be engaging and to have that listener, right? Because you always have to think of what's happening from the listener's standpoint. You want them to be engaged and compelled with the story, with the content that you are saying, so that they are on the edge of their seats from opening credits to closing credits. And they're loving everything that you're telling them. But the way to do that is, again, because you are talking to somebody specific. You have somebody very specific in mind. Grab their picture, right? Put it on your computer. Put it somewhere while you're narrating, because that does help. And you can see them. And it also helps you relax, okay? It helps you relax and not be so nervous about talking into a microphone. And that is something that, it's funny. When you're talking to your friends, it's real nice and conversational, but then when you put a mic in front of you, there's a lot of people, a lot of authors, they deal with this, and that is, they get nervous, they tighten up physically, their body tightens up, their throat tightens up, and then they sound very reedy and robotic, and the emotion is missing. Right? The true emotion is missing. So when you have somebody specific in mind, that really helps you focus, get yourself grounded. And now you're telling your story to your best friend, for example. How would you talk to your friend? That's what you're doing when someone is listening to your audiobook. You're telling a friend the story. Because the person who's listening to your audiobook is going to connect. They're going to connect to you. They're going to feel like you're talking directly to them. And that's an awesome goal to hit, right? That's an awesome thing to accomplish, is really what I want to say. That's what you want to accomplish, because then they're going to love what you have to say. They're going to be a fan and a follower of your author brand. And whether you publish another book, do another audiobook, and maybe you take one of your older books and turn it into an audiobook, they're going to be right there. They're going to want to hear you. They want to hear you tell your story because you have made it so compelling for them. And now they're a fan because they feel like, again, you are talking directly to them, just like you would with talking with your best friend. So think of it that way. So when it comes to knowing your audiobook audience, the first thing you need to do when you're doing your narration is have somebody very specific in mind, because that's what's going to make it more authentic. That's what's going to make it more conversational. That's what's going to make it more compelling. And that's what's going to make it more engaging. This is Coffee Chat, by the way. Today's coffee cup is from 20th Century Fox Studios. This is from the sound department, which was in the building that I worked in. And I'm an audio guy, so glad to have been able to acquire one of these cups. And that was back when I was working at Fox Studios back in the day. But cheers to you. Now, it is BYOC. Bring your own creamer. I wish I could provide some for you, but I'm sure you have your elixir of life. Maybe it's tea. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm cheering to you for just being an awesome human being. So cheers. This is my elixir of life. Oh, that's good. Oh, caffeine. All right. So again, when you are talking to your audience, yes, you do have a genre, you do have a demographic. That's maybe where you targeted your book that you've written. But when it comes to narrating your own audiobook, have somebody very specific in mind. Because again, the bottom line is you're bringing out your authenticity, your conversationalism, and you're really connecting. You're really connecting with the person on the other end. My nose is... Oh boy. I was hoping that was not going to happen, but this is why we do it live. So anyway, it'll help you be more compelling and more engaging, and it's just a great connection that you'll be making with your listener. All right. If there's any topics that you would like me to talk about for the coffee chat, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Oh boy, my nose, these allergies are kicking in today. Let me know. You can reach out to me, message me. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, and by the way, go to my website if you have any questions or if you've been thinking about turning your book into an audiobook. Go to my website. Book a call. All right, book a call. Matter of fact, I got another graphic I'm going to pop on the screen here for those of you on LinkedIn and YouTube. Schedule a free audiobook consultation call. Let's talk about your book. Let's talk about marketing strategies, and I'll give you all the details about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program, which I teach. And in 6 weeks, you will have your audiobook recorded and edited and ready for publication on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, the AAA. You need to be on those distribution platforms. We'd love to be able to help you out with that. Absolutely. So let's talk. Get enrolled. Take your book to the next level. And remember, the audiobook world continues to grow and expand at an incredible rate. People go and get audiobooks first before they go to any other format. And if they like your audiobook, they're more than likely to pick up one of the other formats of your book, whether it's your hardcover or your ebook or your paperback. So it's a good business move. Now remember, you are the CEO of you. You are an entrepreneur. Embrace that. All right. You published a book. Maybe you just recently published. Maybe you published a few years ago. Resurrect that book to life. Turn it into an audiobook, and I can help you do that. Oh, by the way, I do send you the equipment you need to set up your own recording space, a professional microphone, professional headphones, everything you need, and not crappy gear. All right. First of all, I don't know of any other audio coaching program that actually gives you that as part of the program. $400+ worth of equipment as part of the program. Nobody does that, but I do, because I don't believe in cutting corners, and you deserve the best. And I want you to sound your best. So that's part of it. And I do all the editing for you. I do the uploading for publication for you. All you need to do is worry about doing a great narration. And as a coach, I'm there with you every step of the way, because this is one-on-one coaching. And so it's all there for you. Book your call. All right. Go to robertlanecoaching.com, or just click the link in the description, or go to the link on Instagram, my profile page, and book your call, right? And the link, by the way, is bit.ly audiobook onboarding. All right, my friends, we're going to wrap it up for Coffee Chat. Again, the final thing that I want to share with you, as always, is when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, give them a compliment. It takes 5 seconds out of your life, right? Boop, gone. The blip, but that small gesture of kindness can make the world of difference in somebody's life, so be a life changer, all right? Just one more reminder, again, join me for the Your Book, Your Voice podcast tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. Go to their YouTube channel and click on their little live tab, and you'll see me there tonight. We do it live. This isn't pre-recorded, so join in on the conversation. And again, Instagram, you could find that link on my profile page. All right, have a great day, my friends. Be good humans. We'll say goodbye to our LinkedIn and YouTube. That's it. Had to think about that. YouTube friends first. You guys have a great, great day.